Hi guys! The disappearance of griffons in Dragon Age universe is one of the most tragic stories that we first learn in Dragon Age Origins.
Griffons. Alas, that seems to be the only thing people remember from the tales. The mighty flying mounts that bore the Grey Wardens into battle. Unfortunately, they've all passed back into the Maker's hand. It was said that watching the Wardens ride in on their white griffons was enough to rouse a weary heart and put the dance back in the step of an old man. The Grey Wardens were powerful, feared and respected, but they also inspired the common people.
However, with the Veilguard we get an opportunity to interact with a baby griffon Assan and probably learn a bit more about the story behind his survival. If you haven't read Dragon Age Last Flight story, I will gladly share the lore to prepare you for your first playthrough. Blood magic plays a crucial role in both dooming and saving the majestic creatures. In this video, we will explore how blood magic contributed to the extinction of griffons and how their return in Dragon Age the Veilguard might reshape the narrative and gameplay for the future chapters in the series. Let's start talking. Griffons were once the trusted partners of the Grey Wardens, known for their ferocity in battle and their invaluable teamwork with Warden riders. During the Fourth Blight, Isseya, an elven mage and Grey Warden, fought alongside her brother Garahel to stop the Darkspawn. However, the intense exposure to the Blight began to infect griffons, threatening their survival and their crucial role in stopping the Blight. The story of Griffon's extinction begins when one of the griffons, Shrike, was tainted by Darkspawn corruption. Faced with losing one of their vital allies in battle, Isseya turned to blood magic, which was and still is a powerful but forbidden practice in many areas of Thedas. It was a desperate attempt to save the tainted griffon. So, talking about blood magic, we should understand that there are many ways and rituals in Thedas. Sometimes a mage can use blood as if it's lyrium, transforming a living force into magical energy for a spell. At other times, it could be something less sinister and less spectacular, like the joining ritual that every recruit must go through in order to become a Grey Warden. As you might have guessed, Isseya developed a modified joining ritual for griffons, using her knowledge of blood magic. Just as the Grey Wardens undergo a ritual to resist the Blight, Isseya found a way to force the griffons to accept the taint without surrendering to its deadly effects. This ritual gave the griffons enhanced strength and immunity to the Blight corruption. They became stronger, able to survive even grave injuries, and proved to be even more powerful allies in battle. Also, it was one more chance for old griffons to show that they have a purpose. We know that all magic has the price, especially blood magic. The joining ritual has dangerous side effects to humans, like a sudden death after drinking Darkspawn blood from the chalice. Therefore, it is obvious that griffons experience side effects as well. However, theirs brought agony instead of mortal peace. Griffons became aggressively uncontrollable, particularly near Darkspawn. It forced mages to repress the creatures when their rage took over, using blood magic to constantly control them. This instability set the foundation for the eventual downfall of the griffon species. Blood magic in Dragon Age is considered dangerous due to its reliance on manipulating life forces and controlling the minds and actions of others. In the case of the griffons, the use of blood magic to control their darkspawn-induced rage violated the natural bond between the creatures and their riders.
Lancet and Remy told me there's a word for the bond between a griffon and warden moving as one. Turlum. Until Assan and I have that, I'm supposed to keep him safe.
Instead of working together as partners, blood magic forced the griffons into submission, bending their nature and driving them into violent outbursts. Isseya, partly horrified by the uncontrollable aggression of the griffons and the bond that she broke, chose to stop using the ritual. However, when pressured by the first warden during one of her missions in Kirkwall, she was forced to put more griffons through the ritual, knowing that the cost was too high. Each time the ritual was performed, more griffons were lost either in battle or to the rage-induced aggression. This dangerous cycle eventually contributed to their rapid decline. I choose to believe that the long-term effects of the joining ritual led to an unforeseen consequence. Griffons began to experience a deadly disease. It spread among the griffons because of the unnatural connection with the darkspawn taint and slowly killed them off. No wonder Isseya felt guilty because of her role in this disaster, because her actions literally wiped the whole species from Thedas. She realized it too late though. The joining ritual's side effects, in the form of a deadly disease, had infected the entire species, not just those who had undergone the procedure. Even eggs. So, baby griffons that were only in the process of growing inside their shells were blighted too. As a result, griffons began to die really fast, and despite Isseya's attempts to find a cure, she knew she had doomed the griffons to extinction. Though Isseya couldn't save the living griffons, she wanted to preserve their legacy for the future if there was a way. In a final act of redemption, she purified a clutch of griffon eggs by using blood magic to remove the taint, ensuring that the future generation would be free from the corruption that had corrupted their ancestors. These eggs were hidden away cleverly so that only a particular person would be able to find them. Thus, the eggs remained concealed until someone could bring them back to life. The key to understanding the return of the griffons in the Veilguard lies in these eggs. Isseya left behind clues hidden in the archives, ensuring that only someone with the knowledge of an elven mage could decipher them and find the eggs. Her legacy was a tragic failure and never-ending hope as she worked to give the griffons a second chance, free from her past mistakes and desperate choices. If you ask me, most of blood magic in Thedas speaks of the inability to let go or accept death. There is a sad truth about human nature and the weakness of abusing resources no matter the cost. I know that many gamers like blood magic for its flashiness, cool effects, and I'm no exception, believe me. It looks unnatural and fantastic. However, at the same time, blood magic embodies an act of dominance over the natural course of life. It speaks of a mage who feels trapped after checking all possible doors, only to find out that they're all locked. It occurs in mages who think that getting the results they need is more important than the needs of others. It's an abuse of power in the worst possible way, which obviously gives me food for thought. It's likely that the return of the griffons will play a pivotal role in both this story and the gameplay. Valia, an elven Grey Warden mage, was the one who rediscovered Isseya's journal in Last Flight story. She eventually uncovered the hidden clutch of griffon eggs. Through her actions, the griffons were reintroduced into the world after centuries of extinction. In the new game, we might follow Valia's legacy to continue the journey of those seeking to restore the griffons to the Wardens. With Tevinter and blood magic looming over their rebirth, a significant part of Davrin's personal quest could revolve around whether to avoid the same mistakes or risk further moral challenges to revive griffon species. As blood magic was the original cause of their extinction, its role in their return will likely be filled with tension. We may be faced with difficult choices regarding whether to harness the power of blood magic to strengthen the griffons again, knowing the consequences, or find a new, less dangerous way to ensure their survival. The question of whether the mistakes of the past can be avoided or if history will repeat itself could be a core narrative element in this story. If we look into the distant future of Dragon Age universe, things might turn into a very curious road. Griffon riders could become an essential part of our journey in the games that will come after the Veilguard, offering new aerial combat mechanics, fast travel, or controlled flights across vast distances, and even strategic advantages in battle. The ethical implications of controlling the griffons with or without blood magic might influence the choices we make in the Veilguard, shaping their relationships with the Grey Wardens and the larger political landscape of Thedas. The griffons have always been a symbol of the Grey Wardens' nobility and sacrifice. In the Veilguard, their return could serve as a powerful symbol of redemption. Whether that will imply that blighted elven gods, Gillenane and Elgar'nan in particular, can be saved and return to their previous elven form, or Grey Wardens are able to purify themselves from the blight, improving Isseya's ritual. We still don't know if Assan is 100% healthy, but for the sake of the argument we will think he is. It can shift the course of history of the Blight and its victims. If the griffons are brought back successfully without the taint, it will represent hope for a future that avoids the dark legacy of the past. On the other hand, if blood magic is once again used to control them or any other organic matter, their revival could mirror the Grey Wardens' own struggles with moral choices and the cost of victory. Alright guys, let's start the discussion. What symbolism do you see in griffons and their return? Will it be possible to improve Isseya's ritual and use it on wardens and blighted elven gods? After all, the extinction of the griffons was a tragic consequence of the Grey Wardens' desperate reliance on blood magic. Something that has happened in the Inquisition as well. Will they learn this time or repeat history in the Veilguard? I see the return of griffons as an opportunity to not only bring back these legendary creatures for fun, but also confront the legacy of blood magic and the moral dilemmas it poses. Are there things that are worth any costs? Is saving humanity, aka Thedas, worth abusing blood magic? I guess I asked too many questions already. But hey, choose whatever you like and share your thoughts with the community in the comments. Have fun, play video games, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!